is up, our family? It is Ray. Welcome to our world. Happy Thursday. Happy day, whatever day you're watching this. I hope you have an amazing day and everything goes your way. So in today's video, I just wanted to get up on here and talk about being a man of value scares women. How can this be the case, right? How can this be the case? And so we're gonna take a step aside from the spiritual things and what my channel consists of usually for a couple videos. We'll see how I feel, but I have some plans for the future videos, but that's a different story, different time, blah blah blah. Okay. How is being a man of value scary to other women? Okay, so right, working on yourself and being that top 1% man, every girl says they want a man who is that top 1% earner, top 1% in physicality, looks, financial status. However, when you are working towards those goals, right, to become part of that 1%, to become a better version of you, whatever your potential is, whatever you see your potential as, it scares women because, okay, let's put it this way. Being a man that is on his journey and being a man of value eliminates 90% of women. It's the truth. It's the truth. A lot of women, right? A lot of young women, young ladies out here, they're not focusing on the things they need to focus on. Well, Ray, what could that be? What are they focusing on? The same things you're focusing on within yourself, a woman should be doing as well. I'm not saying the woman should be career oriented. I mean, that'd be dope, but right, my lady isn't gonna have a job. Like, I've already set that in stone. Every girl I've had, I've told them, like, yeah, you will never have to work a day in your life. I mean, maybe they might have to work in a different sense, but earn actual income, not at all. And we'll talk about this later. I'm getting into it a little bit too fast, but so why am I saying this? Because, young men, in order to understand the way the world works and to understand the way you want to get to where you want to go, because here's the thing, right? God intended for there to be a man and a woman, right? He created Adam and Eve. He realized Adam was lonely and that he needs a partnership, so Eve was created out of his rib, right? So it's the same thing. Excuse me. Being a man on his journey and working towards the things he needs to work towards, of course you're gonna want, it gets lonely on this road. On the narrow path, it gets lonely. There's not a lot of people you can really turn to and talk to. However, with patience, with all great things comes patience. That's the craziest part. If you want all this greatness, you must make sure that you have patience first. And that's a skill that I'm consistently working on. Something that I'm consistently trying to get better with is my patience. With people, with myself, with my position in life. So, back to these women, right? So if they're not working on themselves emotionally, if they're not seeking God, if they're going out partying every weekend, they're out going to music festivals, they're going to the bars, they're not studying, they don't have a quote unquote defined future for themselves. I say quote unquote because it's like in reality, you are going to change her future. I've had women who, once they realize what I wanted for myself, they're like, oh yeah, I can do that for you. Literally. Like I said, I've talked to plenty of women, and I'll tell them, yeah, you won't have to work a day in your life, baby. Like, it's just going to be me and you. You're going to stay home with the kids. You're going to teach them, homeschool them, blah, blah, blah. We're going to live like this, have this. I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you want to get something, I'll buy it for you, da, da, da. Oh, yeah, I like that. I actually wouldn't mind that. Okay. And then, once they realize that, since I myself have high standards for myself, of course I'm going to have high standards for my lady. Of course I'm going to have high expectations for my lady, because why would I want to be with somebody who doesn't want to win to the levels I want to win to, or wants to help me win to those specific levels, right? So with that being said, once women see what they're really getting into, They get scared. The light is really missing me. Hold up. There you go. Maybe this way better. Once women really see what they're getting into, they get scared. It's like, how? Why? Like, if your life is destined for greatness, if you see yourself destined for greatness, touching all these amazing things, and you bring it to fruition, right? And why would the woman be scared? It's because she knows she doesn't deserve it. Why would a woman feel like that? Well, because why would, how would I don't have an analogy for this at the moment, but if you feel as if you don't deserve something, then you don't deserve it, if that makes sense, in my eyes. You know, and that's not entitlement, because I feel like I deserve something is because I worked towards it and I made sure that I had all these plans in effect before I got to it. So yeah, when I do get, a brand new car, the car that I've wanted for a couple years, and I finally get it, yeah, I deserve this. Like, I've been working on this for years in, years out, days in, days out, hours on end, right? And women, they don't want to put that same effort and work for themselves. So that's why becoming a man of value it's lonely. I've talked to several women. I was like, oh wow, I actually do like this girl a lot. Maybe things might go in the way I would like them to. I get to know them more, get to know them more, and then I was just like, man, you played a persona this whole time. So I cut them loose. Bye bye, gotta go. And then they start trying to play their part again, try to act like they can do all these things for me. When in reality, it's like, baby, you can't. So I would just try to fake it till you make it. You know. And I'm not saying that's bad, faking it till you make it, but it's like, if you're my lady, I want you to keep it real with me all the way through. So yeah, being a man of value scares women. It's true. You know, certain girls have told me themselves. I got hair touching my back. Certain women. Oh, and my glasses are dirty. Yeah, I'm very unprepared right now. I've had certain women tell me that they're not ready to be with me because they don't want to stop living the way they live their life. Oh, you're too good for me. I can't do all these things for you. Which, I mean, hey, shout outs to them for having self awareness, right? But at the same time, those women were never for me. If that's really the case, bro, this hair is bothering me. Oh my goodness. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Chase that dream, chase the bag, chase whatever you want to chase. Get to it. Make sure you're doing it. Look, you see that package right there? There you go. Now I'm pointing at it. You see those packages right there? My clothing brand finally came out. I finally dropped, my people. Tap in. R World 00. The letter R, you already know. R World, and then 2 zeros at the end. That's the Instagram. Tap in, get a suit. I've been working on this brand for years, and it's finally into fruition. And I finally got myself to a point where I'm not comfortable. However, I'm very proud of myself, and it's like, wow, now I can finally really get this ball rolling. And think about that. I've been trying to get this ball rolling for years. Isn't that crazy? Like, after being at stage one, right, for years, now I'm actually at stage one. Now I actually have a product to put out, and I'm learning the ins and outs of the business and what I should do, what I shouldn't do, how I should go about it, and not go about it. But that's because that's something that I've wanted for myself since a couple of years now, 4 years almost, right? So, like I said, my people, get to the things you need to get to, right? Because these women out here, everything is temporary. You could be with a lady for 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. If you guys live that long, 50 years, right? But it's all temporary. You guys are gonna break up. This is the way the relationship works. This is the way every relationship with anything, anybody, or anything. Oh my goodness, bro, this is really not optimal right now. Okay, back to what I was talking about. Every relationship, whoever it is, with whatever it will be, it can be an inanimate object. There's two things. There's two ways a relationship can go. It will die, or it will end. It's either one thing in this relationship will die, or it will end. You guys will quote unquote break up, right? With a friendship. You know, that was my best friend, man. He lived to 30 blah 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 years. You know, that was my friend. We were friends since high school, and you know, I'm 80 and he passed away. That relationship died. Well, the physical relationship died, right? Because the person no longer is breathing with us. Okay, now let's put the flip on it. The relationship can also die due to it ending. You know what? I can't be your friend anymore, bro. We're done. Exactly. So everything is temporary with every relationship. It could be a car, for example, right? I had a car. I loved her. I loved her. See how I talk about her? Like it's a literal person, even though it's not. I had a very I loved this car. I really did. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into the things I did to it. So, and then long story short, I get in a car accident, and now it's no longer even. I mean, it exists, but it's a pile of trash. It's not in my eyes, but you know, it's all damaged and everything. So, it doesn't run. It won't run. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? It's the same thing with women. Apply that same logic to women. Oh, this is the girl of my dreams. You know, you can be with the girl of your dreams for 5 years, and then next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, she's out. Later, deuces. What are you gonna do about it? You know. But yeah, being a man of value scares women. All those books I have right there next to me. I tell girls, "Oh yeah, I read. You like to read? Not really. I like watching shows. I mean, I like watching shows too. I like my anime, but you know, I'll read a book first before I watch my anime. And I haven't even watched anime in weeks. Like I read my book literally before I hopped onto the video. But you know, this girl will watch a show 3 hours after work. You know, she'll be staying up after work. When in reality, baby, you can be reading a book. You can be doing all these other things. You feel me? You can get to that bag, get to what you need to get to. You know, put in the extra work somewhere else instead of wasting your time on a drama, a screen drama, right? Love Island, for example. A lot of girls, oh my god, I love Love Island, blah 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 blah. There's no substance there, you know. A bunch of guys, right? All they do, a lot of guys nowadays have no substance with the conversations, and I've noticed that. Like the people I've been around, and I'm not even around nobody. I'm just there because I have to be there, right, for work. There's no substance to any conversation we have. I can talk about work all day. You know, I'm there to work. I'm there to work. I'm not there to be your friend. I'm not there to blah, 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 blah. You know, if you feel like maybe Ray is a person I can come and talk to and see what he thinks about certain things, oh, for sure, I'll give you my sense if that's really what you want. My 2 cents. But, you know, I'm not going to be coming to work all, hey, guys, you know, I did this and this. What are you guys up to? Oh, yeah, what? No. Like, what's the point in that? I'm here to get money, get out, and go. Right. But yeah, all these people are trying to make a fictitious. Is that the word? A fictitious? Fake. Fictitious, fake, fictional. I don't fuck. I don't know, bruh. But the relationship that all these people tend to have, right? Or how do I say it? The way they make their relationship, the way they make their relationships seem is as if they're friends, when in reality they don't even like each other. So it's like, what's the point in really trying to keep a conversation with somebody you don't like? You know, they'll come at me and say, "You don't find anything funny." We say, "Oh, Mister So serious," blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's just, you know, the things you guys talk about have no substance. Why would I ever try to talk about something that has no substance in it? Like the jokes you guys make, like a bunch of dick jokes and gay jokes, like bro, we're not in middle school anymore. Like you guys are too grown to be joking about that. Like we can joke about anything else. Oh well, you know, we just blah 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 blah. It's just like you must understand, bro. Somebody's age doesn't define their mental maturity. And it's crazy. It's crazy to me. And I've been telling myself this. I have been telling myself this for years, and I'm still blown away by it. It's like, wow, bro. You're 30 acting like this, bro. Wow. Like, this is really how you act. Like, you're 30 years old acting like a little kid. Like, my little sisters don't even act this immature. But it beats me. I'm not one to judge. I'm just pointing the truth, and people don't like to hear the truth. You know, if you tell somebody they fucked up and they don't view it as if they fucked up, they're gonna not like you for that. And it's crazy because being a man of value, right? Switching topics off the women for a second. Being a man of value and of standards will get you hated on for no apparent reason. And I mean, I do know the reason, and it's because in one of my last videos I talked about winners and losers. Being a man of value, you're a winner. You know, put yourself around a bunch of losers, and they're gonna think, why is this guy so confident? Why is this guy so cocky? Why does he think we're better than? Why does he think he's better than us? Why do we think we're less of him? I mean, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. However, I wake up and make sure that I'm doing something that I want to do every day. And you wake up and say, "Oh my God, I don't like my life. I was trying to call it 3 years ago." You see the two differences? I wake up saying, "Oh my God, thank you, Lord, for another day," and you wake up saying, "Oh my God, I have to live this life that I was given." The gratefulness and the ungratefulness. So when you come around people who aren't on your same frequency and you vibrate higher than them, they're gonna hate on you, bro. I'm not just talking to you guys. Like I said, these videos are for myself. I have to consistently remind myself of these things, because sometimes life be life, and man. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. You know, my life isn't perfect, but sometimes I do get caught up in the things that I have to deal with. Not because I'm stressing over it, but it's like I gotta make sure I handle my business the way I think my business needs to be handled, and the way my business should be handled, right? Spiritually, mentally, financially, physically, emotionally. And certain people don't want to put in that same work that you do. So when you step into a building, of course all eyes are on you, because it's like, why is this guy like this? Like they sense for one, they sense your energy, and for two, they sense your aura. Energy and aura are two different things. Your energy makes up your aura is what you output, right? Think about it like your energy is the thing you hold, like Iron Man, I guess. You know how he has the thing in his chest? That's the concentrated energy in your body. Energy. Aura is what emits, right? So when that blaster shoots off, that's the aura. Aura and energy are two different things. However, energy makes up the aura. It's the same thing with the frequency. You know, if your frequency plays into your aura and your energy. They all intermingle with each other. It's one big thing. We can talk about that another day. But today we're supposed to talk about women. Kind of got sidetracked. It is what it is. Back to the topic. Being a man of value scares other women. Being a man of value eliminates 90% of women, which is the craziest part. And it's the truth, you know. I've had my fair share of, "Oh, I really thought you were different, girl." I guess not. And saying that to a girl, bro, oh my goodness, that lady will go crazy. "What do you mean? You thought I was different and I'm not?" I'm like, "Well, no, you just proved me to be otherwise." She'll go crazy, bro. And I'm not saying this because it's, you know, because I'm mentally fucking with them. That's not the case at all. It's just like, it's the truth. You know, I told this lady the truth, and she wants to, you know, next thing you know, she's hating on me for what? I get blocked on Instagram for what? My business page. You're gonna block my business page for what? Like, come on now. Anyways, it is what it is, my people. So yeah, be a man of value. And I'm not saying there's consequences that come to it, because in the end, it's all a blessing. Stay patient, and that lady that you want, that girlfriend you want, that wife you want, will fall right into your lap the way God intended for it to happen. For all you know, you could be at a Whole Foods looking at the tangerines. Next thing you know, you bump into your wife somehow, some way. But, you know, that's God's plan, not mine. I'm just here spilling some information, giving y'all some game. But yeah, being a man of value scares women. Being a man of value will get you hated. I'd rather stay valuable than have no value, though. I'd rather be priceless than be worth nothing. So that's just me, though. Anyways, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy day, whatever day you're watching this. I love you. You love you. Subscribe, like, comment, do y'all's thing. I don't really know. Engage. You don't have to. Thank you for listening to my video, though. I hope you have an amazing day. I love you. You love you. So, you see that? It says Ray loves you. Because I do. I love y'all. I love you. You love you. Don't be nasty. Don't touch yourself. Go hit the gym. Drink some water. Read a book. And keep doing you. Later, our family.